Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishnabhanu Sutete Bhi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedant Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Shataride Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you for sharing your precious time on this forum, systematic study of Bhagavad Gita. So today we're going to cover, we'll be reading from chapter 17, verses 5 and 6. Ashastra Vihitam Goram Tapyante Ye Tapojana Dambha Ahankara Samyukta Kamaraga Balanvita Karshayantah Sharirastam Bhuta Gramam Acheshtata Mam Chaivantah Sharirastam Tan Vidhi Asura Nischayan Ashastra Vihitam Goram Tapyante Ye Tapojana Dambhankara Samyukta Kamaraga Balanvita Karshayanta Sharirastam Bhuta Gramam Achetasha Mam Chaivantah Sharirastam Tan Vidhi Asura Nischayan Ashastra Vihitam Ghoram Tapyante Ye Tapojana Dambhankara Samyukta Kamaraga Balanvita Karshayantah Sharirastam Bhuta Gramam Acheshtasa Mam Chaivantah Sharirastam Tan Vidhi Asura Nischayan. Would any Prabhu Mataji please like to read? Nobody? Okay, we'll read the synonyms, translation, and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Synonyms: a Shastra, not in the scriptures; Vihitam, directed; Ghoram, harmful to others; Tapyante, undergo; Ye, those who; Tapaha, austerities; Janah, person; Dambha, with pride; Ahankara, egoism; Sangyukta, engaged; Kama, of lust; Raga, an attachment; Bala, by the force; Anvita, impelled; Karshayanta, tormenting; Sharira, stam, situated within the body; Bhuta Gramam, combination of material elements; Achestasa, having a misled mentality; Mam, may; Cha, also; Eva, certainly; Anta, within; Sharirastham, situated within the body; Tan, them; Vidhi, understand; Asura Nischayan, demons. Translation: those who undergo severe austerities and penances not recommended in the scriptures, performing them out of pride and egoism, who are impelled by lust and attachment, who are foolish and who torture the material elements of the body, as well as the soul dwelling within, are known to be demons. Purport: There are persons who manufacture modes of austerity and penance which are not mentioned in the scriptural injunctions. For instance, fasting for some ulterior purpose, such as to promote a purely political end, is not mentioned in the scriptural directions. The scriptures recommend fasting for spiritual advancement, not for some political end or social purpose. Persons who take to such austerities are, according to Bhagavad Gita, certainly demoniac. Their acts are against the spiritual injunctions and are not beneficial for the people in general. Actually, they act out of pride, false ego, lust, and attachment for material enjoyment. By such activities, not only is the combination of material elements of which the body is constructed disturbed, but also the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself living within the body. Such unauthorized fasting or austerities for some political end are certainly very disturbing to others. They are not mentioned in the Vedic literatures. A demoniac person may think that he can force his enemy or the parties to comply with his desire by this method, but sometimes one dies by such fasting. These acts are not approved by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he says that those who engage in them are demons. Such demonstrations are insults to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because they are enacted in disobedience to the Vedic scriptural injunctions. The word acheshtasaha is significant in this connection. Persons of normal mental condition must obey the scriptural injunctions. Those who are not in such a position neglect and disobey the scriptures and manufacture their own way of austerities and penances. One should always remember the ultimate end of the demoniac people, as described in the previous chapter. The Lord forces them to take birth in the womb of demoniac persons. Consequently, they will live by demoniac principles life after life without knowing their relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If, however, such persons are fortunate enough to be guided by a spiritual master who can direct them to the path of Vedic wisdom, they can get out of this entanglement and ultimately achieve the supreme goal. Hare Krishna. Bear with me. Just a minute, Prabhu's Mataji's, while I search my. Yeah. Okay. Prabhus, can you all see?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Thank you. Please bear with me. It's a new software I'm using. Typically, I work it out on PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint, but today's work, I did it on Google Slides. Long story, but anyway. So today's learning points, Prabhu's Mataji's, is, we'll quickly run through the overview of chapter 17, and then we'll understand today's verse, how the modes of material nature. Here on the right-hand side, you see these three Matajis in yellow, red, and blue dress. These are the modes of material nature. Yellow is goodness, red passion, blue ignorance, and how they direct literally every activity, every thought of people in the material existence. And this is called conditioning. So we'll see that even the activities such as austerity and penances, how these three modes affect us. And then we'll get into a group discussion to understand what are the types of proper austerities. So the overview of chapter is, you can look at it in three broad classifications. Actually, there are 6 sections, but we have to understand that the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, it determines everything of the jiva who's trapped in the material world. That's the basic. So anything and everything is controlled by these 3 modes. So it goes on into detail, chapter 17, to explain the food that we eat. So food also is in the category of mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. The sacrifice one does, the austerity, the charities that a person performs, all this comes in the mode of 3 modes of goodness. It is controlled. Now, there is nobody who's absolutely good or who's absolutely ignorant. It's always a combination of these 3 factors, and the only thing is in different percentages of which one would be a dominant trait. So you could have a person who's extremely sinful, but there will be some quality of goodness in him, and vice versa. Someone who's extremely in the charitable and kind, and he will have some tinge of passion or ignorance in him. And the conclusion of chapter 17 is basically called the Om Tat Sat. So, of course, that when we reach towards that, different speakers will talk about it. So, understand the divisions of faith. That is the title of chapter 17, is talking now about these modes, 3 modes of material nature. So today's topic is how the mode determines our austerity and penances. So let's understand what is austerity and penances. Austerity, the dictionary defines it as a severity in manner or attitude. Austere. And penance is we do something wrong and then uska praischit karne ke liye, to try to do something good to make up for whatever is a past wrong. So looking at these 2 definitions, how these modes determine. So we can see that if an austerity is being performed, it can either be authorized or it can be unauthorized. So what Prabhupada's purport explains, that authorized is something where the Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, these 3 pillars, of what is right, what is wrong, what should be done, what shouldn't be done. So whatever is done as per their instructions and injunctions is authorized. Anything outside that is unauthorized. So unauthorized is whatever comes out of our mental concoction. Oh, I want to do it like that. I want to do it. So there is these unauthorized manner of performing an austerity or penance and an authorized. Of course, penance is important. None of us is perfect. Krishna is perfect. We are fallible creatures. And because we are fallible, we make mistakes, knowingly or unknowingly also. We may hurt somebody. So we have to atone for whatever wrongdoings that we do. And when we atone for it, even the atonement, there is a specific manner in which it's not just feeling sad or bad about it, but what steps you take to rectify the wrongdoing to the aggrieved party. And also, more importantly, what steps we take that prevent us from repeating such things in the future. Now, this can only be done properly if it is authorized. So, sabse galti, we all commit mistakes. But when we commit mistakes, we need to seek the guidance of the seniors. Who are the seniors? The Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. In the Sangha, the Vaishnava Sangha that we have. Oh, Prabhu, Mataji, I'm sorry. This is what happened. Mere se ye galti ho gaya. What should I be doing? And then they'll tell you, okay, do it like this, do it like that. And you follow that instruction. So this is the basic difference between austerities and penances. Now, if we doing it in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance, here we see there is this 2 broad categories of authorized and unauthorized. Now, what we see is if it is authorized, it is a safe process. and you'll always get positive results. The other side is it is fickle and there is a negative impact on it. We may be thinking that humne praischit kiya, but it is a negative. So for example, if we have fasting, fasting is very popular now, has become very, very popular, but that is more for a selfish reason, which is totally bogus. Any austerity has to be done, we'll see in the coming slides, for the sake and the pleasure of the Supreme Personality, of for Krishna, not for us. We are not doing austerity for us. It is for Krishna. So what do the Shastras say? If you're fasting, fast on Ekadashi. If it is Bhim Ekadashi, do Nirjala. Actually, Ekadashi is supposed to be Nirjal, but concessions are made for some people who cannot do it. We are so habituated to eating food and drinking water that, okay, fine, then you refrain from eating grains and beans. Try to minimize your eating. Try to have control on the tongue. Sharira Vidyajal. This entire body is a network of ignorance. All our senses are traps which further entrap us into this ignorance. And that trap door is this tongue. This tongue is what? Tasting and speaking. So on Ekadashi, on disappearance days, on appearance days, special days, you fast. And that's how you are able to control this tongue. And they say, if you can control the tongue, this is what the beauty of fasting is. The purpose is that we please the Lord. You control your tongue, you can control your mind, you can control, the urges of the genitals, the belly, you control the urges of the belly, you control the urges of the genital. And when the tongue, belly and the genitals are controlled, automatically the mind remains controlled. And we can focus, we can better understand the transcendental topics. So you get positive result. Now, the same way, if I'm fasting and following a certain diet, I become a vegan, I become a vegetarian, whatever it is all for my bodily requirements, so that I'll look good, so that my ego can go up on a pedestal. Oh, she's looking so nice, and like this, like that, all that. No, that's not the real purpose. It's further entrapping us. Please understand this. It's further, and this austerity, instead of liberating, is further putting us into chain of identifying with the body and further getting entrapped. And like Prabhupada says, such things, such nonsense, bogus type of activities, you will be provided a womb, after death. When the soul leaves this body, it goes into a demoniac culture, and you're further getting away from your original position. You're further getting away from Krishna. So we have to keep in mind the authorized and the unauthorized manner of performing any austerity or penance. Now, what are these types of austerity? It could be in the mode of goodness. So if we see what is it in the mode of goodness, it is done with transcendental faith. Transcendental faith, very important. Meaning to say, faith in the transcendence. All of us have faith. I have faith. I have faith that if I go to the gym and listen to my trainer and whatever he tells me, my body will become like this in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, whatever. That is also faith. No, but faith which is above and over this, above and beyond this material conditions. So how do we know that? That is faith in our Guru, faith in the Vaishnava, faith in the scripture. So when we do these austerities with that kind of a faith, not for ourselves, but for the sake of Supreme, it's only for the sake of the Supreme, that is considered in the mode of goodness. Then the next one we have the austerity, which is carried out in a mode of passion, which is for the ego boosting. And Maya is so insidious, even devotional services and acts of devotion, Maya can creep in. And on the surface, it will look like a devotional, transcendental act. But internally, it is to boost our ego. Oh, Prabhuji, I'm giving such a nice class. I'm doing such nice kirtan. I decorate the deities so well. I dress the deities so that sab log bolenge, oh, Who did today's DT dress up so beautiful? And then my ego gets fanned. Oh, this Prabhu did. So when it is done for pride, respect or honor, or we seek to be worshipped as a senior Vaishnav. Oh, now I've been around Hare Krishna for a long time. I know enough of Shastra. I can recite the entire Bhagavad Gita. I know hundreds and thousands of shlokas memorized by heart. Excellent, I'm able to speak. People should worship me. People should offer their vanchakalpatarubhyascha, prostrate themselves before me. And I'll be very austere. I will drink only milk for breakfast. I'll only eat fruits and nuts, so that everyone will say, oh, so austere this Prabhu is. What level of penance and austerity he does. Oh my God. Fantastic. Me. And you have another, which is done in the mode of ignorance, foolishness, silly things. Oh, I'm not the body, I'm the soul. I don't really need to take care of this body. I've fallen ill, no problem. I'm putting it in Krishna's hand. I'm driving, I'm feeling sleepy. Krishna, you take the wheel. So all this is foolishness. Then there is self-torture. You need to minimize the urges of the body. Minimize that. Direct it in a proper direction. But whimsically, I'll do it. It's winter. I'll get up early morning, 3:30, and have a cold water shower. No, that's not required. Not required at all. Or I'll cause self-harm to my body. And when we are harming the body, we need to understand this body is an apartment in which two tenants reside. The owner of the body, who is the Paramatma, and the soul, who we are. We are the occupants of this body. We are not the body. So when we are doing harm to the body, it is disturbing the Paramatma and the soul. Not only these two entities, but also the persons around us. It puts them in inconvenience. So these austerities can be done in goodness, passion, or in ignorance. Now we can see that austerity can be of the body, mind, or the speech. Of the body, how we do it is when this body is used in worshipping Krishna and the elders. We know who our elders are: parents, uncle, auntie, grandparents. Senior people, we offer them our respects, we offer them our dandvat. If I have to go on a journey in a crowded bus, I have a seat, I'm comfortable, but I'll stand up and give it to an elderly lady, Mataji. I take the inconvenience of all the pushing and the shoving and the rocking motion of the bus and the crowd, and Mataji is comfortable. So I put my body, but for a better purpose: cleanliness, being clean in mind, speech, and body. Simplicity, not to overly make ourselves up. Today, of course, it is permitted for Mataji's Shringar to a certain extent. But people go crazy trying to beautify themselves, trying to stop the aging process, whether it could be very simple with dye, hair color, or it could be naturally, you could be balding, male, you could be balding, it's nature, and then you go through implant or wig or something like that. So it is complicating. Going against nature complicates things. Celibacy is not just physical union with the opposite person. It could also be self-pleasure. So that celibacy, whenever the urges come, the ability to control, because sex drive has a particular purpose. for the procreation of Krishna conscious children, not just for the procreation of children. Then it becomes an act of worship. So that is the cleanliness, comes under the cleanliness, celibacy, and non-violence. Non-violence to our own body and non-violence to other person's body. Then you have austerity of the mind, thinking. Be thoughtful. Be very, very thoughtful. Be very, very mindful. Don't just do things on impulse. Don't complicate. In corporate world, there is something called, you may be familiar with the KISS principle, KISS. It's an acronym which stands for keep it simple, stupid. I mean, it's a little harsh, but it conveys, don't overcomplicate the matter.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
is it super simple? Stupid simple?
I'm not following what you said, Prabhu.
No, Prabhuji, you said KISS, keep it super simple.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Okay.
It's kind of a slur, but it means that people who overcomplicate something which is simple are stupid people. So it is keep it simple, stupid, like that. So that is the simplicity of the mind. The mind being satisfied, that is the real key of happiness. Satisfaction lies not in what we have, Radhanath Swami Maharaj says. Satisfaction is what you can do without. The mind is always wanting things. I want this, I want this, I want this. Never happy. So if the mind can be trained to be satisfied with what it has, with what it doesn't have, self-control, this is where it comes, the mind control. Again, Radhanath Swami Maharaj says, how do you control the mind? Very simple. You have to say one word to it, no. Every time that jhatka, that urge comes up, no, no. And the more often we say no to the mind rather than giving in to the mind, demands of the mind, the more we'll be able to control it. The more we'll be having control over ourselves. And when we can do that, literally our existence gets purified from all this jhamela, which is at a basal animal level, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. That's all there is what we're doing. Sophisticated, no doubt, but that's all that we're doing. All, nothing more, nothing less. And you actually rise above that. So there is this austerity of the mind one can perform. And then we have austerity of our speech. Truthfulness, so simple but so difficult to speak the truth. We think, oh, we speak the truth for the most part. Maybe 80% of the time. Yeah, but the fact is, 20% of the time, we are 100% lying. Truthfulness, to say things as they are, especially when it comes to Shastras, especially when it comes to topics about transcendence. Just because we hear something and we understand something, and then I put my interpretation on top of that, which may seem very palatable to people. I don't want to offend them because earlier it is said, right? Speech should not be hurtful. No. Truth, stay with truth. Even when others throw stones on you, stay with truth. And we have examples of our Acharya, Lion Guru, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, his father, Bhakti Vinod Thakur Maharaj, at a time when everyone was making their own concoction, and Bhakti was just like a small little spark. They came and flamed Bhakti, made it into a roaring fire. How? By standing up alone. People tried to kill Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. He did not compromise. Prabhupada did not compromise. When a reporter asked Prabhupada, oh, You're supposed to be austere, you're supposed to be simple, and you're wearing gold Rolex watches, saying, yes, they bought Rolls Royce for Prabhupada. Yes, I'll use it. He did not make any wishy-washy excuse. He put the right perspective. It's not for me. It is for whom I represent, Krishna. That's what they're doing it for, not for me. Many, many years ago in Mayapur Yatra, when I had gone several years ago, I was new to Hare Krishna. And I would see everyone just falling down and offering obeisances to all the sannyasis. So early morning, Mangal Aarti, I forget who this sannyasi was, Maharaj, and we were doing around the temple, doing japa. And everyone was following to Maharajas. There were 5-6 Maharajas, and they were walking and doing japa. And every 2-3 steps, people are following, and then they would stand, accept the obeisance, and then continue. So I went and asked Maharaj. I said, Maharaj, you're also a human being, correct? And all of them are offering you every 2 seconds, someone is falling at your feet. How do you control your ego? How is it possible? I'm really astonished that, human being can accept all this honor and still remain in balance. How is it possible? So Maharaj started laughing and he said, oh, very simple. They are not doing it to me. Whatever they're doing, I'm offering it to my guru, and my guru is offering it to his guru, and it's going all the way to Krishna. Nothing for me. If I think it is for me, then it is a problem. So in here, what we are understanding is the truthfulness is of our speech also when we speak. Of course, we can make mistakes. And I'll give you a thing which happened just this morning. Today, I had the seva of doing Bhagavatam class, and I was talking about how the temple is the body of Balram. In my mind, I know also it is Balram. Madhupati Prabhu had told me, and we had this discussion about temple cleanliness and what all projects we should undertake. So yeah, it is, how important the temple is, not just the altar, but even the surrounding, because it is the expansion of Lord Balram. And in my mind, as I had been preparing for the class, I was talking about creation, of how Lord Brahma is the secondary creator, the architect of this material universe. So that was in my mind, and it came on my tongue. That temple is an expansion of Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma, Lord Brahma. It was my mistake. Why? I'm a human being. I'm fallible. Though I'm repeating, I'm talking about Shastra to the best of my ability with gurus and sadhus, whatever I've heard. And from the Shastra, still, I made a mistake. But more importantly, and my respect for Simheshwar Prabhu went up tremendously. I personally consider Simheshwara Prabhu to be my senior, both in practice and in his knowledge and in his behavior, everything. I think he's an exemplary Vaishnava, someone whom you can look forward to. He could have very easily corrected me, very easily. But what I noticed reflecting on this later on, he called me after the class is over, and in such a humble way, he inquired. He's saying, Prabhuji, I'm trying to find out, is there some reference you have? Now just look at him. He's so well read. He knows the Shastra depth and width. He's saying, Prabhuji, do you have some reference about Brahma? Maybe I missed it. And then I said, no, not Brahma, it is Balram. So he says, no, you were saying Brahma. I said, oh, my mistake. I'm so sorry. So the correction was immediately, accept it, you made a mistake, and declare it. Typically, when we make a mistake, our tendency is to hide it or to put the blame on someone else. So yes, I made a mistake. This is the correct answer. But my learning from this is the Vaishnava etiquette. Why didn't Simeshwar Prabhu correct me then and there itself? He knew I was speaking wrong, not once, 2-3 times. I went back and listened to the recording on YouTube. 2-3 times it was Brahma, 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 I kept saying. He still didn't do it. Why? Because the person who's giving a class is the representative of the Guru Parampara, Vyas Asan. And yes, we are. So there is a proper etiquette, there is a proper way of addressing something. Very well, he could have even chastised me or not even chastised. So this is how we learn through practical experiences in Vaishnava Sangha. So here is the austerity of the body, mind, and speech. And Simeshwar Prabhu exhibited a type of austerity of the speech. He did not instinctively, just Oh, Prabhu, you're saying wrong. It is not Brahma, it is Balram. Controlled. And the proper manner in which he did it. So, Simeshwar Prabhu, my respects to you, my obeisance to you. Thank you for your friendship. Hare Krishna. So, continuing, Prabhu, Mataji's, is, these are the types of austerities we have. Now, what are the challenges we encounter? We hear all this. What are the challenges? Simple living, high thinking. All of us are trying to control, be austere in some way or the other, some degree or the other. Some of us are being very successful. Some of us are having a mixed measure of success and failure. Some of us are still struggling. Never mind. So what are the challenges? And that will be the topic for our group discussion. So can someone please discuss what are the challenges we can encounter in simple living, high thinking?
Haribol Prabhuji, in simple living, high thinking, or you said in the austerity?
Simple living, high thinking is a type of an austerity. And you could apply it to those what we spoke about now, mind, speech, and body.
So, not exactly in the devotional service, but I can talk in my experience, basically what I'm trying to, eat less. Okay. Eat less or eat fruits sometimes, but it's very hard that to control the tongue or the amount, the seriousness of the hunger that comes. It's hard to control. However, over a period of time, probably a bit of control I can get. But
Yep.
That's very challenging to.
Very true. I get it. So in a material context, it is how I can eat less, because if I eat more, it's going to affect my sugar level, it will affect my diabetes, whatever, my blood pressure, and it is not good for my health. That is it. But then we can also dovetail this eating less as a thing of offering bhoga and eating only prasadam. So, it can also be a challenge, and it can be a practical challenge. It can be a mental challenge for us. Maybe we haven't bought into the basis why you should offer bhoga and eat prasadam only. But yes, it is a challenge. Thank you. Anyone has a solution? How we can dovetail this idea of eating less? Eat enough, what they say, Acharya say, to keep your body and soul together. Don't starve yourself. Don't overeat. Maintain the balance. So, in fact, obesity is a huge problem. And we know when you're watching TV, kuch muh mein hoega chakna, whatever it is, either greasy snacks or chips or whatever it is, the show becomes more enjoyable. And we have the principle that it should be bhoga. So don't eat onion, garlic, whatever is there, and say, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, it is offered now, I can eat happily. So yeah, these are the practical things which happen. So, either challenge or solution to one challenge that we have. It's open to everybody, okay? And please, I'll encourage you, when you discuss, that's when the subject matter gets deeper. Because these are real life things. And just because someone has a challenge and raises a challenge, he's not any less or she's not any less, or someone offers a solution doesn't mean it is superior or inferior. It is all of us are in the same boat, and all of us are helping each other row it, going towards Godhead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam, all your sister Prabhupada.
Dandvat, Prabhuji.
Yeah, a couple of things that crossed my mind, Prabhuji, about eating less, which helps is firstly, maintaining like keeping a window in the mind. Like, I mean, I try not to eat between 8 at night to 8 in the morning. So that helps a lot, because this way you're restricting your timings, and it's like, the shop is open between 8 and 8, and so you can only eat that time. That helps. And then other thing you can do is, which I try to do, is not make the boga very palpable, which is like not so much fried spices or so delicious. Make it simple cooking. That helps also. So, and then not you decide every time like what you want to eat is what you want to offer for boga. So that is also there. So these are a few things which cross my mind.
Can you repeat the last one? Don't decide.
Based on what you want to eat, you want to offer for boga.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
Very nice. So what are the challenges, or if someone has to add something more to this solution of eating less?
Basically, if the mind is not occupied with anything, probably thinks of too much about eating. However, if you are occupied with some physical activity, or not physical also, in any subject, if you are busy with it, the thing is you don't get much interest in everything, because of our lifestyle. So we don't have any physical activity. We are eating much but not doing much in the physical activity. We can't burn it. Whatever we eat, we keep on adding. And if we focus on something good, then probably that thought that continuously coming to it will keep us separate from food.
Very true.
At least have little bit control.
Very true. Very, very true. So if the mind is engaged, the body is engaged, then it doesn't run towards food. Idle mind is a devil's workshop or a bhukkad.
Exactly, Prabhuji. Thank you.
I'm getting bored. Many people eat because they have nothing else to do, not because they're hungry. Voice, yes,
Yeah.
very good point. But yes, so how we can keep the mind occupied rather than not keep it idle? I mean, there are hundreds and thousands of ways, transcendental, not just mundane activities. Yes, mundane activities will help us keep our mind occupied, the body occupied, but it won't give us much result, as what we discussed earlier. But the same thing, if it is dovetailed as a transcendental activity, as an act of seva, then it takes us so much further. So not only are we controlling the tongue and this eating thing, but also we are making progress. It becomes an act of devotional service that, yeah, I'm doing it for Krishna's sake. I'm doing it because it will make my Guru Maharaj happy. Very nice. Any other challenge?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam. Prabhuji, I think sometimes we get disconnected from the nature. And then that way we don't appreciate what has been given by the Lord. This whole nature that's been created for us. Sometimes we kind of disconnect. We live in, of course, homes, and then slowly we kind of disconnected from the nature. We don't get an opportunity to really appreciate what is there in the nature for us.
I'm with you on this, very much with you on this. Prabhu, there is so much variegatedness. When people say that, show me God, show me that God exists, God He's not in philosophy. I mean, with philosophy and logic also you can show, but literally everyday items, if we just become aware of nature around us, nature that is around us. Simple, if you go, just see if you go by train or public transport and you're sitting and observe people, it's a sea of humanity in front of us that we just put blinkers. We'll either be on a Facebook, WhatsApp, or some other thing, entertainment. And whatever is life is passing us by and we don't even care about it. You see a tree, the beauty of a tree, the beauty of a leaf, even see the beauty of a stone. See a beauty of a pothole. I don't know how many, but if you bend down and see a pothole close, people may think you're mad, but please don't do it in the middle of the road. You'll cause an accident. And you see the pattern which is there, the texture of the rock and the cement, and there's so much beauty in such simple things around us. How does all these things happen? By chance, by coincidence? No. There is an intelligence behind it. We can appreciate this. So, Sudhakar Prabhu, you're very right. We are so caught up running behind this and that, chasing shadows, and we just take it for granted. No, yeah, it is there. See technology, how beautiful it is. These lights, street lights, how they work. How fantastic everything is. But we just take it for granted. Selfish, egotistical creatures. If you remember poem, I think it was Wordsworth. What is this life if, William Wordsworth, my wife tells me. In school we learned, what is this life if full of care, we have no time to stand and stare, no time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep and cow. And Milton, in another poem of his, he wrote, for flowers that grow beneath our feet, we struggle and aspire. Everything is there for us, and yet we're climbing the ladder, trying to get fruits, material fruits. Yeah, we take things for granted. What is the solution? To not take things for granted, whether it is nature, whether it is our relationships, whether it is people, whether it is our sadhana, whether it is the instructions, whether we've been initiated, we are aspiring initiation, doesn't matter. How not to take anything for granted? How? What is the solution for that?
Solution, probably the root cause itself can tell us the solution. The cause is we have rejected the whole philosophy from the mundane perspective that super God is there and he is the owner, controller, creator, everything that, and we like you said, we take it for granted, and things are coming very easily. So because we have rejected that God, that's the root cause.
It can also happen, you can accept God and still take things for granted. And as I gave you the example, it can happen even with initiates. People who are initiated, people who are Brahman Diksha also. The tendency to take things for granted happens.
I would say the level of rejection, degree of rejection will vary from somebody very mundane to devotee initiated,
Okay.
or who's coming. So it is not like binary accepted and rejected. Probably that level of acceptance is different between different people. So
Okay.
that taking it for granted also will be less in those who have accepted.
So what is it that we should do? Like how Paramanand Prabhu gave the thing is, schedule a time to eat. Don't eat anytime and every time. Schedule a time to eat simple. So like this, what practical tip can we adopt so that we don't take people and things for granted?
Maybe we should just walk barefooted, right? So some of the being close to the nature, right? Maybe more often see the sunrise, sunset, and just being in the nature, right? Just walk.
Partially right. Yes, partially right. But again, keep this in mind. We can get close to nature, so what? Poetry likhega kya main? Like Wordsworth? Yes, it will definitely improve our consciousness. It will raise our consciousness. It will bring a sense of calm and peace. But it is still on the material platform. And the same thing where you're on the, as I said, you're partially right. If you take it a little bit further, Prabhuji, is this same thing, what you're saying, take some time to appreciate nature. And in this nature, see the hand of God in it. And then our appreciation and thankfulness comes to God, and it's not just something abstract. And then that becomes very, very meaningful. That time that we spent of walking barefoot in the grass, the time that we spent to see a child smile, the beauty of a child's smile, spontaneous, not plastic. That when we see it and we appreciate and we say, wow, we see Krishna's hand in that. Then that becomes, and we become thankful, an attitude of gratitude, however simple it is. Hey Bhagwan, tera lakh lakh shukar hai. And all the time when we are in this mood, inculcate this mood. Then, wow, all of us Monday morning, when we go to they call it Monday morning blues. Oh God, 5 more days. And then that suffering, Monday, Tuesday, then Wednesday is called the hump day. Then Thursday, Friday, the excitement starts. Oh, my torture and my pain is over. Monday, what we say, oh, I have to go to office. Have to go, manje kai. Have to go means that it is a compulsion. I'd rather be staying home. I'd rather be on the beach. But kya karu? Mera mortgage hai. My child is in college, so I have to go to earn my living. Rather, that same mindset can be changed from this crying and complaining to an opportunity and enthusiasm that I get to go to work. Instead of I have to go to work, I get to go to work. Thank you, Lord, I have a job. Thank you, Lord, you've given me the ability to earn. So then it's no longer a torturous experience. I'm doing this now as my work becomes my expression of gratitude for having the ability and having the opportunity to work. You know what joblessness is like, right? Being laid off, not sure what happens next. Yeah, so thank you, Prabhu. That was very nice. Let me do a time check. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, I went 5 minutes over. Simeshwar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam or Goshen Srila Prabhupada. Yes, go ahead, please. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. So, Prabhus, Matajis, if you would like to, please, everyone. There are so many. I have our dear Sandeep Prabhu, who always contributes. I appreciate that. Mother Satyabhama, aaj tumi ekdam gappa hai. Sudhakar Prabhu, thank you. Thank you so much. It helps. Parmanand Prabhu. I have Ashish Prabhu. Is this Ashish Prabhu Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj's disciple or Ashlesha Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hey.
I'm disciple of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Prabhu.
Yes. No, there are two Ashishas, so I wasn't sure who. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. So, lot of things challenging, Prabhu. I need to overcome. So, main thing is he already prasadam things already spoke. Prabhuji already spoke, right? If I see the lot of prasadam item, I jump into there. I need to grab that prasad. That type of challenge I have also, and other challenges also I have, Prabhu. So, and other things you can see that in the meantime I can you already mentioned that Vaishnav etiquette, right? So I'm not that, I have not that type of etiquette. Still now I need to rectify a lot of things to, to align with the Vaishnav uh, etiquette. And so you know that last time in Sunday feast program, you already given the class and you ask, you challenging something you were discussing about that.
Yeah.
So I should, as per the Vaishnav etiquette, I should give you the Dandavat Pranam and other things. After that, I mean, at least uh, gentle way I should give the reply. I did not give that.
No. I don't think you committed any offense. In fact, you did a great service. What we were doing is I was playing the devil's advocate. And basically, I was being the mouthpiece for the general public, how they think and how they say. So I was playing the role of a challenging mood, and you were playing the role of a devotee who's firm in his belief and his faith and was sticking. Though I was giving you so many challenging questions, you did not hesitate. You stood firm. You know, the speech, what we were talking about earlier, how Prabhupada didn't compromise, no matter what opposition came. So, no, Prabhu, you didn't. In fact, you did a great service by doing the question answers, which we did. In fact, I was the one who was being brusque and challenging, but that again, I was playing the role of a devil's advocate to so that people can get an appreciation of what facts are. And when we are confronted, what is the proper answer and the behavior. We don't simply, of course, there are sometimes when people are being very silly. You fold your hand because discussing with somebody anymore would only be doing disservice to that person. He'll then start blaspheming devotees and the Lord, which will further take him away. So as a service to him, but no, Prabhu, I think you did a great seva, and you also, with the questions that you ask, it brings great value. And we all appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. If I did any mistake or
No, not at all. Please don't embarrass me. So if we can come to this, simple living, high thinking. What is it that we see? Let's see if there's some Mataji on the group who can share her experiences. Mother Gokul Priya, you're a mother, you're also a working mom. What are your experiences in simple living, high thinking? What are the difficulties that one can encounter? If you can share, please.
Hi, Krishna Prabhuji. Apologies, I joined so late and also doing double duty right now, feeding my child. So the challenge is for simple living, high thinking, right, Prabhu?
Yeah, what are the challenges we encounter, practical challenges in adopting this lifestyle? Because kitna sab karte hai na? Like you're a mother, you're feeding this little one, you've just come back from work or you have to prepare for work tomorrow. Plus there is the... So what is it in your experience, challenges that we face, a devotee can face?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest thing is distractions, right, Prabhu? Like we just see everyone is doing something else and they're following a shortcut, or they're making it so convenient. And for us, I think with social media and the interactions we have, I think it's very hard to stay focused.
But mommy, how do we fight?
You hit the nail on the head, Mataji. Staying focused, distraction, and then we take these shortcuts and all these things. And the world around us is doing that. And here we are taking the long cut, the slow and steady way. And, it becomes a challenge. Yeah, social media is the big monster. So what are some of the solutions? How do you maintain the course and not just slip away or swim with the tide? जैसे कहते हैं.
Yeah, so I think, Prabhu, to stay focused, I think having that strong conviction that yes, I'm on the right path, helps me, like the inner strength that these are temporary deviations, and let's just stay focused and keep going. Like grit, I think that's very important.
Very true.
Perseverance.
Very
So,
true.
Prabhu, can I add
Yeah.
here?
Please,
No,
please, please.
So here distraction and shortcut and stay focused. So this problem you can, I think from my side, I see that if I get the association of good devotee and stay focused every day, we can attend the Bhagavatam class and Gita class. That will help us to stay. That will help us to help us uh, help us to stay in this path, Krishna consciousness. Not only that, our consciousness will be in a good position actually.
Very true. Very true. So nice. Mataji, thank you. Prabhu, thank you. Staying in Sangha, strengthen our conviction. Actually, both of them go hand in hand. When our conviction is strong, we seek company. When we seek and when we are in the company, our conviction gets to be stronger. They are both feeding each other.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Prabhuji.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for engaging. Hare Krishna.
What else? Two more if we can do. I mean, this discussion, we can do it all the time.
For the social media, Prabhuji, we cannot completely uninstall those apps. The only thing we can do is leverage for devotional service.
No, let me make a small correction. Prabhu, we can stop social media altogether. It's literally unnecessary.
Yeah,
like
sure,
WhatsApp and Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all that. However, there is a reason why, if we think why I'm not getting out of social media, and the real reason, not the justification, the real reason behind why I don't want it is because my mind needs, as Mataji said earlier, some kind of distraction. Because I'll give you my personal example. Like, we are working, and then there is so much of this one meeting after another. I have this deadline, I have to meet this target. Everyone goes through that same thing. Maybe the shape changes, but that underlying platform is the same. Now, I need to have some kind of a release valve, because there's so much pressure. वो pressure cooker का सीटी निकलते ना, करके. So for me, the social media becomes a great release valve. But the problem is, social media is like a quicksand. For me, it is a quicksand. I say, I'll just go and check what my school group, my college group, my family group, this group, that group, hundreds of groups are there. I'll just go and check what's happening in the world out there, to take my mind away from what is currently on my plate, thinking it will get refreshed and I'll be more productive. But social media, once you get into social media, and it has this thing, it just sucks you in like quicksand. It sucks you in. But there is a very simple trick which can be dovetailed, where social media can be dovetailed as an act of devotional service. Shall I tell you? Very, very simple, and you'll already know it. All I'm going to do is put light on it. For example, on Facebook, start joining groups of so many gurus and sannyasis that we have, our sampradaya. They keep posting because they're preaching with social media, getting the message of God out. And kya hota hai, even if you read that for 30 seconds, something sticks in your mind. So rather than looking at all this nonsense of, it will come up in your feed, but more and more, because the algorithm is such, more and more you follow these people, the more and more you look and you like this, more and more it will send your way. And all the other noise will start getting diminished till almost it will vanish. And at least whatever little time we went over there, instead of time pass, it became a good utilization of time. Of course, at work, please don't use this. There's where that discipline comes in, where we say that, nothing. I put my phone away, and I have a work phone and my personal phone, and keep engaged like that. But yeah, the Social media is a big monster for distractions. Very good. Yeah, 3 solid points we got and solutions. So thank you all for that. If anyone has a question, we can take a few questions now, or we can bring this to a close.
Prabhuji, you were mentioning the Bhagavatam class in the morning. Is it every day in the morning? Because I don't see the link on this group. Only the evening one.
You know, we can add you. I think Simeshwar Prabhu is an admin on. Are you on the ICNJ Japathon?
I think so. But is it every day Bhagavatam class?
Yeah, Prabhu. Monday to Friday, 6:30 to 7. It's only half an hour because we've got to go to work now.
Yeah.
Every weekday, 6:30 in the morning till 7. And
Okay.
there is no group discussion or question answers. And if at all anyone has a question, there is a group called Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So devotees post their question on the group, and then, you know, whoever gave the class and other senior devotees, they reply to that question on the WhatsApp group. So, you know, Simeshwar Prabhu may have your number. He can add you to the group and you'll get the, yeah, he has put it up already. 999, that is the WhatsApp group for Bhagavatam. So we have Monday to Friday Bhagavatam Prabhu in the morning 6:37. Every weekday we have this Sangha, Bhagavad Gita Sangha, 7 to 8. And on Saturday morning we have Ramayana Katha, which is just reading from the Ramayana. Narration, it is half an hour, 9:30 to 10. And on Sunday morning we again have Bhagavatam, where special speakers from world over, India and different places, sadhus, sannyasis, grastis, they come and speak for 1 hour on Bhagavad Katha. So these are the online programs that we have. And then of course, we also have seminars like recently concluded on Bhagavad Gita, Essence of Gita, many seminars, Vaishnava etiquette, which are periodically conducted. But Prabhu, if you're on the ICNJ Japathon group, no, then that gets quite a lot of information is available, means the activities, what all is going on in the temple.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. I am already on that. Not sure how I missed the morning one. Probably the link doesn't
You're
come
right.
out.
They don't put every morning. The Bhagavad thing is not posted every morning. But if you copy down this ID and password, it's there in the chat. Simeshwar Prabhu put it. Then
sure.
you know, just put it in your WhatsApp thing.
Alert, yeah. I'll put it in now. Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you. Hope to see you tomorrow. Very good, Prabhu's, Mataji's. Thank you for your time. And Simeshwar Prabhu, in this class, if I have made any mistake, please correct me. And anyone else, if you think I have gone wrong.
Yeah, thank you, Brody. Thank you so much. It was wonderful. Wonderful class. Nicely covered. Very practically that symbolic, that what we can follow, what exactly the meaning of these verses in our day-to-day life. That's most important, how we can do it. So very good. Thank you so much. And anybody else has any other questions, concerns, or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, this is not related to today's topic, but I was reading one verse and sixth canto, I think the sixth canto or no, fifth canto, I see that there Lord Radha Shamsundar becomes as a Narayana with 8 hand and with 8 hand and with 8 weapons. So we generally know that Narayan has the four hands, right, Prabhu? But sometimes you see that Narayan has the 8 hands. Vishnu has the 8 hands. Can you explain about this, Prabhu?
Prabhu, my understanding is very, very limited. And what I can share with you, Prabhu, is that, and this is when I was preparing for the morning's class with Jai Pataka Swami Maharaj's lecture. There he has given that Krishna is unlimited and it is always his mercy. So personally, when I get confronted with things which either I cannot understand or it baffles me or I don't have an answer as yet, believe me, answers always come sooner or later. I reconcile it with saying that, this is his will. It is his will. He's supremely independent and he can do what he wants. But I think this question, if Simeshwar Prabhu can answer, because I don't have an answer for it, if Simeshwar Prabhu knows it, otherwise I can find an answer for you and reply in the Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya as to why Narayan comes with 8 hands, whereas usually he comes with 6 hands. 4 hands, I'm sorry. 6 hands is in Mahaprabhu Leela.
Oh, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhuji, 6th canto, which chapter it is? Do you know which chapter it is and what is the context? Where the Lord was manifested with 8 hands?
Give me a minute, Prabhu. I'll paste the verse number also. So just give me a minute, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, just 1 minute. 2, 3 places I see that 1 minute. Carries Damodar. Put it all potencies. Just give me 1 minute, Prabhu. Wives of Suras, illusionary and efficient. Yes, this is yes, got it. So this is Prabhu 6th canto, 8th chapter, 12th verse.
Oh, can you repeat 6th canto?
6th canto, 8th chapter, 12th verse. I'll paste it, Prabhu.
Yeah, I got it. I'm sharing that on the screen. Conch Disc Shield Sword Club. It has 8 arms.
And another place also I have seen that I'll send you, but this place.
Puran. I was just doing a Google search and it came up. In Kanchipuram, there's a temple of Ashtabhuja, Mahavishnu.
Okay, Guruji, yeah, not necessarily. Okay, so yeah, just search it and just send it to Amritananada Prabhu or in the group, Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya group, and then we can take it from there.
Yeah.
Sure, Prabhu. Sure, Prabhu.
Yeah.
I paste the verse. Yeah. I paste. I sent the message.
Okay.
He's all powerful. He possesses the 8 mystic powers. Yeah, we can find this out, Prabhu. Interesting.
No problem, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you. It will take some time.
No,
but
no
I'll-
problem. That's okay.
Thank you. Okay, Prabhu, shall we bring this to a close? Sameshwar Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Guruji. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Yes, I mean, Amritananada Prabhu already covered that Krishna is unlimited potencies, but in the specific context of it. So I think we'll research on this actually on is there any occurrences that Lord is showing 8 arms. I mean, there are situations. This may be like a very temporary forms, but in generally 400, and in this case there are 8 arms mentioning. Yes, you're right, and yeah, we'll search for it.
Sure, sure. Sure, Prabhu. Dhandavat, Prabhu. I have seen also in Pracheta's case also. Pracheta coin.
Prabhu, is that okay?
Yes, 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 Prabhu. Why not? So sorry,
Hello?
Prabhu. Yes, I was. So can you
Are you hearing it?
Can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yeah, Prabhu.
So
I can't hear
yes,
you.
yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, are you hearing it?
Yes,
Yes,
sorry.
Prabhu, we can hear you.
Yes, Prabhu. Semester Prabhu, can you hear me?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Probably he is not able to hear anyone, I believe.
Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Prabhu, we can hear you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can you hear me?
Haribol.
Haribol, Prabhu.
Yeah, he's having some technical difficulties. So it's 8:30. With everybody, we'll bring this to a close. So
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Sorry. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna, Prabhu. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Shlesha Prabhu, we can hear you.
Okay, Prabhu. I actually we are not able to hear Semester Prabhu's voice, so that's okay, Prabhu. I saw these things here, and another places also I saw the Pocheta's case also I saw it, but later. Oh yes, if you find Prabhu, send me.
I'll definitely get working on this. Give me some time. I'll post it in the Nityam Bhagavad group when I get the answer.
Sure, Prabhu. No problem.
Okay.
Don't know what Prabhu.
Thank you, everybody.
Sorry, Prabhuji. I'm outside. Yeah, please conclude.
Okay. Can you hear us, Prabhu?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, good. So
yeah, go ahead.
You just said that to find the answer. So I'll do some research, check with some Vaishnavas also, the significance of those 8 arms.
Yes, Prabhu, no problem, Prabhu. So I also I noticed it, that's why I asked. Now I should not ask actually. This
No,
type of
ask. It's very good, Prabhu. It's very good. Please keep asking. It becomes a learning for us all, your question. Thank you. So we can bring this to a close now, Prabhu. Or anyone has questions that Simeshwar Prabhu can perhaps answer.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your class. It was very much practical.
Thank you, Prabhu, for your class also. And thank you, everyone. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
Krishna Vrinda ki jai.
जय जय
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
जय
Hari Hari.
जय।
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.